I've been to a lot of off-road events and overland expos, but nothing quite like this. And this is what Subaru built for their owners in the US. And well, Canada doesn't have anything quite like it. A weekend for Subaru owners at one of Montana's biggest adventure events, filled with community, trail runs, and overall, just a great time. And that's not all. Not only do we have this epic event called The Big Thing here at the Overland Ranch, but we also have, well, behind me, a space dedicated by Subaru USA for, well, Subaru owners to meet, gather, and we'll explore this amazing event. But what exactly is The Big Thing? Well, it's here in Montana at the Overland Ranch, and it's actually been going on for just 2 years. And while it's an epic overland experience, there is obviously these community meetups like the one Subaru's hosting, venture vans, AV, and a ton of other brands, as well as general mission camping. There is a lake for people to go swimming in. There is vendors to go check out and purchase stuff to, well, outfit your overland adventures, as well as a ton of events. They have, I think, 5 or 6 different stages or classrooms where you can go ahead and attend workshops such as planning your next adventure, intros into welding even, and they run it all day long. And then in the evening, they have meetups where you can go ahead, chat with other people, and well, make new friends. Now, as I said, this is probably one of the biggest events I've been to of this type. We have probably, I would say, at least 400 vehicles, and people-wise, you could be looking much more than that. And outside of that, you see a lot of these brands beside their meetups also sponsor things such as Subaru did a really cool, what's called the Back 40. It's actually a trail that runs up over the mountains over there, and something that we were able to go do and explore, which you'll be seeing a little bit later here in the adventures. And well, we got to go ahead, test out the Subarus and see what everyone's was capable of. And the cool thing is this isn't a local event. Even for the Subarus here in the meetup spot, we have plates from Idaho, Alberta, and even Poland, if you know which Forester I'm talking about. And well, the cool thing is it isn't just new Forester Wilderness or old SGs, but a mix of everything and some pretty cool vehicles, which were all a little bit different. And of course, we had a brand new Outback to check out, and a few last generation Outback Wildernesses, all set up for some overland adventures, but all set up a little bit different. From platforms to rooftop tents, set up for what worked for the driver. We also had some Foresters. Well, actually, we had quite a few of them. There was of course mine, but also a Wilderness and a modified SK. Then we had a manual SG Forester, and of course we couldn't forget Carrie's or Mountain Subie's brand new Forester Hybrid with a ton of upgrades and a really cool wrap to boot. Honestly, the coolest thing was seeing We Roam World or Chris's Forester from Poland, someone that I've been talking to for years now. And while Chris wasn't driving it, it was still awesome to see, finally, in person. And the one driving it, CJ, was also awesome after following Forester culture for so many years. And on top of that, we couldn't forget the Crosstrek, which there was a modified one from the Rebel Rally that left a little bit early. And then of course, Milton or Silver Bullets XV, which was awesome to see in person, especially with a long arm kit that they just recently did. There was also a really well and nicely done 2nd gen Crosstrek with all the right mods. But what was even cooler than just seeing everyone's builds was seeing them in action on the trail. First, we got to take on the obstacle course, seeing how cars like the manual SG compare to ones with low range, and how my open dips make everything fun. We also got to see how some well-built vehicles like the brand new Forester or Milton's Crosstrek took on the obstacles. And of course, there was some wilderness and X-Mode action going on as well. It's pretty cool to see what all the vehicles are capable of, especially since I'm the only 4-speed automatic. There's some CVTs. There's Chris's low range on the SG, so it's super cool to see what everything's capable of. And well, We're gonna test out the Forester a little bit on a more controlled environment.
Right around this orange Tacoma.
But the back 400, not 40 like I said before, was where we could really go on an adventure. Here, we got to explore the back part of the ranch and get some epic views of the surrounding areas, all while having fun on the trail. And of course, there was some interesting and fun obstacles as well. And the trails and the cars were a lot of fun, but the best part had to be the community. If you've been around the channel for a while, you've probably heard me talk about this, but honestly, the Subaru community is the best. And the events like this are a reflection of that. And I'm not sure how or exactly why the Subaru community became like this, but I can tell you, being a part of it is like nothing else. And the community itself is extremely welcoming. Whether it's a new trip with a new group altogether, or you are visiting and traveling with some longtime friends, everyone is respectful and honestly willing to share not only their experiences, but their learnings throughout the years so that you and everyone else grows as a person. And you've heard me talk about this on the channel before, so I won't ramble on too long, but the Subaru community is, well, honestly, the whole reason this channel and this space exists in the first place. Back in 2016, when I started with the blue car over there, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But over the years, we've not only met some amazing people and, well, formed an amazing community, but we've created some memories along the way. And Subaru as a brand, as a whole, has helped foster this community and, well, help it grow. Subaru USA in particular has acknowledged this and, well, looked to not only help, but also grow the community as a whole through events like this with the SubieCrew and other things all across the United States. And, well, up here in Canada, we have the community, but we might not have the brand following quite yet. As you've seen on some of my adventures, we have a pretty amazing group of people up here, where we have upwards of 36 Subarus all together on one trail. And I know personally, probably over 100 Subaru owners in here in Alberta. And it's not only that, it's all over Canada, particularly because I'm in Alberta, Western Canada, with groups like the Vancouver Subaru Club that I've had the privilege to join some of their adventures, as well as some of their amazing meets. So my question is, why aren't events like this happening up here in Canada? We arguably have some of the best places to explore up in the Canadian Rockies, and we do have events, well, maybe not quite this big, still plenty big enough for people all over Canada to come join, including the BC Overlanding Rally, as well as the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo. And, well, we have the people and the places, and Subaru Canada, you have the brand. So Subaru Canada, this is a little bit of my open letter to you to see what we can do to, well, foster the community up here in Canada. And for the rest of, well, the amazing community watching, let Subaru Canada know how much you want to see something like this happen up here. With the event wrapping up and the Forester almost packed up, can't help but reflect on the event a little. And overall, I'm really happy the way the Forester is turning out. As you saw in our last video, when we make the drive down here, it did really well on the 10-hour drive from Calgary down here into Montana. So I'm really happy the way it works for that. And then here camping, in particular, it's worked out really well. It was really easy to set up, it was really easy to take down, and we had access to most of our stuff. Although, after seeing all the setups here, I do have a couple ideas. One of them is getting a little better space and storage, making sure everything has the perfect spot, because moving stuff around is always a bit of a pain, and especially in something like this, we have to be careful. On top of that, there's a couple people with rear tire carriers. It reinforced the amount that I want one of those, so we can go ahead and pack it up, and we can not have to worry about a rear tire sitting in our cabin, and will ultimately giving us a little more space. And then for, well, the event, the big thing. Honestly, it was super cool to check out an event south of Canada. As I said, we've done lots of stuff in BC and lots of stuff in Alberta, but to be able to come down here and check out this event, this is, as I said, the second year out here. So it's pretty cool to see how it's grown and evolved. And well, awesome to check out the SubieCrew. As I said, I would love to see something like this in Canada. So maybe someday we'll be able to do something like this with our community up in Canada. But it was awesome to connect with the community down here, check out the vehicles, and we'll go up in those hills, go off-roading with them, and we'll see what everyone's builds are capable of. And of course, we'll check out some of the popular builds and the people that I've known for such a long time over the internet, but never met in person. But don't worry, we actually have another venture coming very soon. We're gonna be doing something with that tan SG Forester, so you're gonna have to stay tuned with that. Looking forward to doing some stuff with We Roam World. And well, we have another venture on the road. We're gonna be heading out of here in Montana, and we're gonna be going across 3 states to, well, explore some places around this area. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. And while you're down there, let me know down in the comments. Do you want to see Subaru Canada do something like this? Or are you in the States and you want to come out to one of these hosted at one of the outdoor expos in the United States? And maybe I'll even get to meet you. And don't forget to check out Flat 4 Off-Road if you're in Canada and want to build a venture-ready Subaru, or the channel memberships for some exclusive perks. Well, I'll be seeing you guys on the next adventure.